Assalamualaikum and good day. We're going to discuss about qualitative inheritance with my partner Eliza Daxla. What is quantitative inheritance? This quantitative inheritance is the inheritance of quantitative traits. It is known as quantitative or polygenic inheritance. It is also called multiple factor inheritance or blending inheritance. It is a genetic term which is defined as the combined result when many factors combine to result in a distinctive trait. An example of a result of quantitative inheritance is, for example, the height. It is also when more than one gene determines the expression of a particular trait. It shows continuous variation, and there can be large influence of environmental factors. To understand this more, let's proceed to the history. History of quantitative inheritance is that, according to the report of Joseph Colruyter, the continuous variation in 1760, he crossed tall and dwarf varieties of tobacco in Nicotiana. Second is the F1 plants were intermediate in size between the two parent varieties. The third one is the F2 progeny, showed a continuous gradation from the size of dwarf to that of tall parent. He could not explain the result of above crosses. Mendel also described continuous variation. First, he crossed white flowers and purple-red flowered bean varieties. The F1 progeny showed intermediate flower color. The F2 showed all grades from white to red flowers. Around 1910, inheritance of continuous variation was explained on the basis of multiple gene hypothesis. So, to better understand this quantitative inheritance, let's have examples. Examples of quantitative inheritance are afforded by number 1, kernel color in wheat, number 2, skin color in man, and number 3, height in man. So what happened in this kernel color in wheat? Nelson Ely 1910 and East 1910-1916 gave first significant clue of quantitative inheritance by their individual works on wheat. They crossed a strain on red kernel wheat plant with another strain of white kernel. Grain from the F1 was uniformly red but of a shade intermediate between the red and white of the parental generation. This might suggest incomplete dominance, but when F1 offspring were crossed among themselves, the F2 zygote showed 5 different phenotype classes in a ratio 1:4, 4:6, 6:4, and 1:4, 4:6, 6:4, and 4:1. As you can observe the photo, you will see the histogram of the kernel color in wheat. And another classical example of polygenic inheritance was given by Davenport 1913 in Jamaica. He found that 2 pairs of genes, which is the dominant A and recessive A and dominant P and recessive B, caused the difference in skin pigmentation between Negro and Caucasian. These genes were found to affect the character in additive fashion. Thus, a true Negro has 4 dominant genes, AABB, and a white has 4 recessive genes, AABB. The F1 offspring of mating of AABB with I mean the F1 offspring of mating of recessive AABB with dominant AABB are all AABB and have an intermediate skin color termed mulatto. This mulatto is a mating of two such mulattoes produce a wide variety of skin color in offspring, ranging from skin as dark as the original Negro parent to as white as the original white parent. So, you will see the photo, which is the result of this cross, as follows. There is a recessive pure white complexation and the dominant pure black complexation. There is the white, very light brown, intermediate, dark brown, very dark brown, and pure black. And here is the another histogram, which is these results are clearly showing that A and B genes produce about the same amount of darkening of the skin, and therefore the increase or decrease of A and B genes cause variable phenotypes in F2 in the ratio of 1 negro is to 4 dark, 6 intermediate is to 4 light is to 1 white. Lastly, the height in man. Skin color in man is a rather example of polygenic inheritance because only 2 pairs of genes are involved. But the character of tallness is recessive to shortness. Thus, an individual having the genotype of more dominant genes will have the same phenotype of shortness. The inheritance of height in man is more complex phenomenon involving perhaps 10 or more pairs of genes, because this quantitative trait is controlled by multiple pairs of genes and is variously influenced by a variety of environmental conditions. So the height of an adult's range from 140 cm to 203 cm. So to understand more about quantitative inheritance, let's proceed to the next reporter.